Hey guys, welcome back to Musings of Mavry. I'm your host Mavry, and right now we're going to be watching Dororo episode 4. So this is a continuation viewing. I'm watching this straight after episode 3 in my quest to catch up to the current episode. So last episode we learned a little bit more about the character of Jukai, and we also learned about Hyakkimaru's past. So I'm kind of wondering whether in this episode we're going to learn the past of another character as well, if there are any more characters to be found. Or we're just going to continue with Hyakkimaru's quest, which I think right now is essentially summarized as killing demons and get your body back, right? So, in any case, let's just find out together right now. So let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Now, like I said, I've decided to just leave this in here. Mappa. They're doing a good job animating this so far, so I'll let them have their advertisement. Okay, yeah, this is definitely the Warring States period, no question about it. Oh. Commit seppuku? I'm assuming it's because he was refusing to carry out orders. Alright, let me skip this real quick and I'll see you guys in a second. And we're back. Of the Cursed Sword, alright. A staple of a lot of swordsman stories. A cursed sword, eh? So I guess we can be expecting a sword that, you know, has evil within, that might suck the life force out of their user or something, or take over their body, something like that. Hmm. Where's Biwamaru? And I still don't know your gender, Dororo. Look at her hands. Oh. There's evil. There's evil afoot. And there's the cursed sword, if I've seen anything. Alright. But this is a pretty staple legend. Yeah. So I'm guessing Hyakkimaru is not going to kill this guy. He only wants to break the sword or something. Ooh. Yeah, he has an actual face now. Oh. Sorry, got the wrong thing. Did he cut his hand off? I guess it's the first time he's actually been harmed on the face. You better not. Oh. Well, that was coming a mile away. This is a good guy, right? Oh, it's her brother. Okay. Oh, actually, this was the sword, and that was the same guy from the very beginning. Alright. Oh, sushi. Where's Dororo? Oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh. Is it taking over him? Yeah, it's taking over him. Oh. What is Hyakkimaru going to do? You know, Hyakkimaru can distinguish between monsters and humans, but he distinguish against ill-intentioned humans and humans with goodwill. You should know your brother is kind of messed up when he hasn't said anything to you after 5 years. Oh. Hmm. うーん。ん How is he going to dissolve this situation? What a giant douchebag. Yeah, commit seppuku. And so that was the cursed sword? Oh man, a rusty sword killing. Oh. Is he gonna kill the Lord now? Dang. Somehow, I don't think this guy can be redeemed. Yep. Dang. An entire army? What is he trying to do? Hmm. Hmm. Oh, but he made another one. Yeah, there's two there. Oh, there we go. Okay. And another guy. Hmm. But still, only the sword is. Yeah, but like I said, I'm not sure if he can actually tell between, pure humans and ill-intentioned humans. Hmm. Nope. Nope. Is he dead or? Well, that was. Huh. This is definitely not a Sunshine and Flowers series. Oh, he's getting his sense of hearing now? Wouldn't this be sensory overload for him, though? He's never heard before, right? And the first sound he hears is rain and crying. Hmm. And yep, another one. Another statue destroyed. Hmm. Can you even recognize Hyakkimaru? Alright. I'll see you guys after the ending. Alright, so turns out there's a little bit more after the ending song, so let's watch this together in 3, 2, 1, play. Only about 10 seconds or so. Well, let's see what happens. Aw, it's a resolution of some sort? Alright. Well, that was a kind of depressing episode, and a pretty heavy one as well. Although, let's be honest here, there was no way that that dude could have lived on. Tanosuke, he basically did bad things, right? Even though, I guess you could, yeah, when he killed the builders, he wasn't entirely possessed yet, and still he killed them in cold blood because he didn't want to die, because he wanted to go back to his sister. Now, regardless of what he wanted to do, that still means he murdered those people in cold blood. So there was no way of him not dying. He had to atone for his sins somehow. So, you know, it's pretty obvious that he would need to die. What is more interesting to me, however, is in regards to Hyakkimaru and his morals and beliefs, if you will. Because he didn't, as I was mentioning at the very beginning of the episode, I'm not sure whether he can tell between, the differences between different humans, right? We know he can distinguish between monsters, demons, and whatnot, and normal humans, but can he actually know if a human is a good guy or a bad guy, right? I don't believe so. I don't particularly see any difference between how he sees Dororo versus how he sees Tanosuke. So I don't think that is, Tanosuke. I don't think that is something that he can do. So he actually chose to kill Tanosuke here. And this also marks the first time within this series where we actually see him kill something or someone that is pure in his eyes, that's white. So definitely an interesting development here. I'm guessing that maybe he believes since this blob of white willingly picked up this red demon sword again, he has to be the enemy, and that's why he killed him, right? He killed Hanosuke. Because I do believe that he can remember the differences between the blobs of white of various people. He knows that this is the same person, right? Or maybe, I don't know. Or is it because he just doesn't really care, and maybe this time he was forced to deal a killing blow because he couldn't maybe dodge in time or something? But I don't think so. I think he did purposely kill Tanosuke because, well, he thinks that Tanosuke is obviously bad for going back to the demon sword again. But anyways, in the end, Tanosuke died with a smile on his face. So I guess what the series is actually telling us is that, he did bad things, he's atoned for his sin, and he's relieved now, right? So yeah, okay, I guess. On the topic of cursed swords, however, I guess this is also a little bit of trivia. So, cursed swords are kind of a cliche now, right? I know Dororo has been around for, like, a long time. It's much older than me, and it might even be my parents' age, if I'm thinking. Yeah, it might be even as old as that. I believe it was made in the 1960s, if I'm not wrong. So, of course, what we call cliches now, that was probably a little bit more new or fresh during that time. But just on the topic of cursed swords, it's a big and very popular topic, and it's kind of fun to see where the origins came from, right? So, as an example, probably the most famous cursed sword would be the Muramasa. Though that is also kind of a misnomer, because the Muramasa isn't actually one specific sword. It's any sword. Well, basically the best swords made by the, I guess, Muramasa clan, Muramasa school. So there's lots of Muramasas around, and it's actually quite interesting to learn about how they became cursed swords in the first place, because you know, they're good swords, and generally favored by people of power. You know, you want the best sword that you can have, you want the best katana you can have. And so later on, when the warring states period, and when the Sengoku Jidai ended, we entered into the Tokugawa shogunate, right? The Tokugawa shogun, or dynasty. During that time, since a lot of people are using Muramasas, some ill fortune also fell upon the Tokugawa members, and so they eventually viewed it as, you know, due to superstition, they decided to just ban all Muramasas, right, and declare it as a cursed sword. Now, this eventually turned into sort of like, well, Muramasa sort of turned into an anti-Tokugawa symbol, if you will. And so, along with it, a lot of these, you know, kind of legends sprang up and whatnot. And so it eventually evolved into, you know, the cursed sword, the cursed Muramasas that we know of today. So then it went back, sort of like going back into taking a more contemporary story and then applying it into periods prior. So pretty much, so maybe throughout history, they wouldn't, during that time, like during the period of the warring states, they wouldn't regard Muramasas as cursed swords. That was something that was later added on, and then through works of fiction, added into that period as well. So, just a little bit of trivia. And do correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how I learned about it anyways. Yeah, so I think that about concludes this episode. Is there anything else to talk about? No, oh, and I guess one final thing. I do like how, you know, within this episode, Hyakkimaru regained back his sense of hearing, he got his ears back, and the first things that he can hear are the pouring rain, as well as crying. It is kind of poetic in a sense. Not really sure how relevant or how significant this is, but it's just, I don't know, it's a nice coincidence to think about, right? Yeah, so that concludes my review of this episode, and I believe, yeah, that my binge through the first portion of Dororo will end here. So episode 5, I'll see whether I can fit it into my schedule next week or something, because I am leaving on a biz trip. So yeah, we'll see. I will continue to binge these until I catch up to the current episode. So stay tuned, guys, and this is Maverick. See you guys. Bye bye.